We have indeed one of my favorite little birds called a litter. And, as you can see, it flies very quickly, but they often use the same perch to hunt from, so it swoops back in a matter of seconds. Look closely, you'll notice that it's got a slight turquoise band of mascara over its eyes. Absolutely beautiful. And I wonder if it caught anything there. It'd be catching tiny little insects and just swallowing them before it eats the branch. And I mean, you saw it was gone a second before it swooped back in again. Now, we're in a bit of a predicament here, everyone. And our predicament is that to leave Tristan and Thamba would possibly make immediate sense if Thamba continues to sleep and if that baby impala continues to sleep. But meant that both of them get up and some action unfolds. Myself for leaving this will definitely be very useful for us to try and capture moments from two angles. It's not something we do very, and I guess with all wildlife, not that we're making of more documenting it live with you, the sense of just having to sit and wait and be patient. Hedge our bets and drive off now and try and find you other things. Like us, some happens here, then we're not going to document it as well. So our plans are to stay in the area. In the event that something happens, we can swim in and start filming alongside Tristan. So that's our plan for now. And there's lots of stuff happening here on the quarterings. There's a Wildebeest that we will catch up with right now. It's a local herd. Two of the babies we actually documented being born. One by Tristan and one. We're not too sure who's who with regards to the 6 youngsters in the herd. So sadly we don't know exactly which ones we saw getting born, but a total of 6 were born in, and miraculously all 6 are still alive, or at least the last time we did a head count they were. It's probably due to the fact that we've had hardly any lions on the property for the last couple of weeks. Okay, very good. Well, we're about to get into a spot where I can Stanzo take over with his fancy camera work. Now, judging by how many wildebeest I can see in front of us here, I'm guessing what may have that the residents' herd may have joined up with another one, or possibly a of males, of bulls. Being as there's just simply far too many adults to constitute our old usual bunch. Now you can see one youngster there. The rest of them, very similar size, all lying in the shade there. Oh, one just got up. And it's remarkable how quickly they've transformed in the last 2 months. They were born a caramel color, light brown, with no sign of any horns, and now a couple of months later they're the same kind of gun as, so they've changed color drastically, and their horns are quite a lot, sticking out about 2 inches. I mean, an inch of growth, roughly. Pretty impressive going, if you ask. And there's think that one of those youngsters, or 2 of those youngsters, actually saw being born. What are the chances? The one that's getting born, we were doing a rehearsal for a TV show that being born bushwalk. I was on camera with, we fashioned a kind of try some sticks so we could shots. What was it? That female that we saw give birth gave down, the youngster just cutting out. That's why we called it Sputnik, temporary, like a Russian. And Tristan was a far more consuming process. female was actually standing and used gravity to assist the young out. Let's count 2 forks. Woohoo! I just counted another one. So what makes that there's 2 herds possibly of converged? This is our sticks. Now that there's more than we expected, maybe a few have been eaten. It's just this many. Spotted our next grey beast to show you, so we are going to get into the position quickly. Send you back across to the Gollywog Leo Smith, who is at the Mara River Stalk.
Not much of a river. There's a yellow-billed stork. As I said, the Mara River is at the moment. Now, this is main south, and those rocks are where we crocodile, zebras, or nations. And at the moment, I could probably skip across the river. You can see, oh, there we've got a spur-winged lapwing. That is the area where the cross at the moment, ankle deep even for them. There we go, you can have a look. Low at the moment. So, strangely enough, the talc junction is quite full. Upper Mara is very. Now, there's been rain in the hills to the east, bringing lots of water down the Talc River. So, if you go below, the Mara River looks quite full, but up here, however, it is low. It is incredible how up the year it changes. There's lots of sort of over a car across there if I really wanted to. Be a bit bumpy. Could be done. Now, the easiest to walk across would be up between Main North and Main South. Pretty much walk the river. User is wondering, related to vultures? No, they are not. Well, related is in the fact they are birds, but they're not related to vultures at all. Okay, now, fine. In this windy, cold weather, maybe croc out of the water. Quick look. Sign of the paradise. At the moment, crossing the Mara River. Not that dangerous for the Paradise Pride. They can just jump across bits of water. We might croc out of the water somewhere about here. There's a pool at this little. There. Thing on the sandbanks. It might be out this. No luck. So let's keep moving along. We can find either a nice pride or a nice big crocodilian. Let's Scott and a naughty monkey.
Well, yes, they are potentially not as naughty as I don't think. At least these just on a termite mound. The one on the right on a marula fruit, and there's not much on the fruit that surrounds the nuts. So I think that's what it's busy trying to. Definitely a little marula nut is trying to scrape off as much of the fruit as possible. Beautiful scene. 2 baboons. Another pair making love. Clear Valentine's too. Quite an affair ones make love. There's often interesting audio. Sounds a bit like this. That's what baboon love sounds like. If any wondering. I could have maybe given more energy. It was a bit of a tame session. Troopers scattered across the... So it's just this one for now. Behind us a little bit earlier. Some a little bit away. And it sounds like we are having some audio. Just going to keep a second. And the silhouetted baboon in silence. I hope you've all sent through your 1,000-word paragraphs from the quite nice visuals we actually managed to show you guys whilst our wizards were working on some technical difficulties with the audio. I'm hoping everything has been rectified now. It's a magical scene here on the big open clearings just outside our camp. As elephants, along with the baboons, are cashing in on the marula fruits. And the tree in our camp is really beginning to drop fruits down onto the metal roof. It started about 3 or 4 days ago. And we permanently get terrified by this loud clanging quatonk as the very large marula fruits, the largest I've actually seen ever, grow on this specific tree, and therefore hit the roof with a lot of weight, and therefore the sound that comes reverberating off the roof, quite impressive. I'm hoping to try and get visuals of the old baboons, but they tend to be a little bit camera shy. Let's see. Sense there's one in the tree to the right of us. It's a bit of a, I can just see it kind of silhouetted just to the right of the main kind of branches. The same tree they were in earlier. The second one just above my finger there is where I can see it. And it seems to be standing on its back legs just like we do. If you go left a little bit. Is that a baboon? Oh no, it's a branch that I confused for a baboon. Kingfisher in the foreground holding its wings up as it landed. That looked quite... Anyway, there were some baboons in this tree a little bit earlier, but sadly they're so thick at the moment. Once they're up in there gathering fruits, it's not easy to see exactly where they are. Oh, there's light though. I've just seen it moving now. Yeah, just on the right hand side on the bottom branch there. If you zoom to the bottom right, you will get it. Oh, there we go. That's an even better one. That's not the one I saw, but oh, well done, Sens. And the fruits aren't too easy to see from here, but there's a whole bunch of them in the tree there. And you can see this guy's going, oh, you're eating the branches, interestingly. Are you brushing your teeth? No. It doesn't look like he's brushing his teeth. A lot of the local people up in Kenya walk around with what's called an mswaki, which is a toothbrush, and it's just made from some of the branches. It's just a broken branch with the bristles frayed end. And it looked like that baboon was doing just the same thing, but not right. Now I'm guessing because they have on so many fruits, they're trying to mix up and balance their diet a bit, because if all they ate was those very sweet marula fruits, I guess their digestive system would turn on its head. So we're going to send you across to Tristan. We were just hoping to try and snipe a visual of him from here, but we couldn't. We found some baboons instead, one of which was pampered in the grass. Anyway, it sounds like Thamba with some pampering too. He is fast asleep. Why don't you go for a quick check-in?
So who knows? But anyway, we're sitting here and Thamba is still napping. He was kind of been up and down a little bit when the baboons were shouting at one. He was standing up and kind of looking in that direction. We also have a few wildebeest kind of crossing in the area, and he glanced at them for a while and watched babies, and then I think just realized there's too many baboons around to even get anywhere near, and so turned his back on the whole lot and then lay down like he now. So he's in a situation where he's kind of just having, you know, sort of moments to himself really. And I suppose a bit of Valentine's Day would be perfect for Thamba. I'm sure he would love Thandi to have brought him a little impala lamb that he didn't have himself, and to groom off all his ticks and just get him all sort of shiny. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We know that Thandi now with her new cow really wants to see Thamba around too much, and so he's on his own, I'm afraid. But he has Fergus and I for company. Isn't that right, Thamba? Yes, you can see he's lifting his ears, listening to us. But we're here for company, don't worry, so you can take it nice and easy. We'll certainly enjoy his company as much as hopefully he's enjoying ours. It really isn't a very awake cat, though, at the moment. I surmise that this is going to be pretty much it for the day. I don't think he's going to do too much. The problem that he has is that where he's just on the fringe of quarantine, and there are baboons absolutely everywhere here. They're all attracted to the marula fruit. So I think he's going to have a day, unfortunately, where he's going to get a bit disturbed by the various primates. And if not primates, then, well, also the elk kind of maraud around this area looking for marula fruit. So I don't think he's going to still be here this afternoon. You never know. He might be, but I don't think so. I think it's more than likely going to move, and probably forcibly, by either the baboons or ellies. Right. Now, unfortunately, it seems as though the gremlins have just been out of this morning and have really been causing havoc. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a major reboot of our entire system, which means that we'll send you all onto a little tech loop, but hopefully we will be back fairly shortly. By then, Thumba's awake and things are happening, but I do apologize. It's just part of our and being live. So we'll see you all in a little.
Interesting unfolding. There are two male baboons shouting, "Boh! Oh," that you can hear. And that one over there slinking away was being chased by Wildebeest, which was really cool to see. Let's be ahead of it and straight ahead. That's where the feelings coming from. And I always wonder exactly what dispute on when you hear baboons fighting and squealing like we can at the moment. Whether it's one being bullied by a youngster or adults with one another. There's certainly some kind of a catfight going on. Let's see if we can. I've got a feeling like that one baboon flying out of the tree, a low-lying branch, and often another. You can just see it curiously there now. Seems like that was the spot of bother, and you can see it's hanging on. It doesn't have anywhere to really. So used to get may have 3 or 4 out of. How interesting. Oof. It's usually fairly interesting dynamics with baboons. You get one dominant true. What's happening here? On for dear life, and it looks like there's a bigger, more dominant one above this. Shake it out of the tree. Look, let's just zoom out a bit, so we can see. It was actually grab it, dislodge it from the spot where it's hanging, and it does look like that bigger baboon is shut bottom. That's also be getting. I'm not sure it's in the situation, but it will start tiring. You can clamber up into an easier part, but as soon as there's actually 2 of them, and there it goes. Unceremonious drop to the ground. I wonder what's going on. That's the one still not. Now, are the other men going that same tree to continue it? I wonder. And I also wonder if it's not a young male. Let's keep moving. Okay. Get you a few. Seems like actually around us now, but we have a tech issue sadly this morning, so we are going to call it quits. Let you guys know what happens a little bit later on. Done. Sorry, but action on during to. It's been a wonderful drive. There's 2 shots of a baboon. the Nyala doesn't seem to be too by the baboons. Okay. Well, again, huge for the difficulties this morning, and we'll be sure to rectify things again this evening.